guys, Virginia here, and I'm back with another 12 by 12 process video for you today, and this one's for the SpiegelMom Scraps design team. And yeah, so I thought we'd take you through a quick little tutorial on the silhouette design space on how I make a moon. It's super easy. You basically just take a circle, another circle, set it inside it, and then go down to your offset panel. I can't quite see it, and then choose the subtract all portion, and it'll cut out whatever is on top. So that's what I've done there, and then you've got a perfect moon. So there we go. So the design of this layer, I really wanted to use some tulle that I've had sitting in my tray for a couple of weeks. I got it before we moved and I never used it, and it was for a SpiegelMom Scraps layout, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it. So this is what I decided to do. I'm using some clouds from my view from above cut file, I think, from my Etsy shop. There's some little hot air balloons on it as well, but I just wanted the clouds because they were nice and pretty and decorative, and I'm going to cut them out and kind of scatter them in 3 groups around that moon. But I'm going to take you through what I do with the moon first. So I'm using the Dealers New Day collection, and I really love this white with striped pattern paper, and I've been wanting to do something with it for a really long time, and now is the time. So that gorgeous teal coloured pattern paper is going to be on top of that pattern paper, that striped pattern paper, and so I'm going to add tulle on top of it, and I'm going to stitch sequins into pockets on it, basically doing like a bit of a tone on tone thing. So I've popped that teal piece of pattern paper up on foam, and I'm just drawing with a pencil just inside that cut file to give me a bit of a guide of where my moon's going to sit, so that I don't waste sequins along the entire length of that page. So here I am, I've pulled out my tulle, and I'm just going to cut it roughly to the size of my page once I can get it all, once I can wrangle it into place. So I'm just using my scissors, cutting along the edge, and then I cut along the top as well. It's just a rough guide, because again I don't need to stitch the tulle onto the entire layout, but enough to cover a decent portion of it, and especially where that moon's going to sit. So I'm just using some thin double-sided tape right at the bottom and on the left and the right hand side. I'm going to make sure that it's out of the way, well enough away from the moon, so that I'm not going to stitch over it, because I don't want to gum up my needle. So I'm just doing the 2 sides now. And I can peel off the backing tape and just kind of pull that tulle nice and taut and stick it to it. Doesn't hold it super tight, but it's enough to hold it so you can stitch through your sewing machine and stuff without it going all over the place. So I can peel the backing of that second piece, glue that in place, and I've got kind of this large pocket shape in my page now. I'm just trying to get it as straight as possible. It's never going to end up perfectly straight, but there we go. I went into my sewing machine. Well, I had to use my mum's because I've lost the foot of my sewing machine for some reason, the little metal foot, and yes, I can't do much sewing without that. So I suspect it's in the storage container in my sewing machine box. So I had to use my mum's machine. So I've taken it up, I've stitched around the outside, just inside where that tape is, and then I've gone ahead and added my sequins and then stitched above each one. I've gone in a bit of a tone on tone fashion, and you would have seen me whiz past showing you all the sequins. You probably didn't catch any of them, so I'll take you through from the bottom. We've got Tweaky Teal, then it goes into Vintage Christmas, which is the pinks. The green and pink one is called One in a Melon. The yellow was from the National Scrapbook Day Sequin Mix, which is Sunflower Flight. The blue and green I've kind of joined together, and I had a mix from the green from Lucky Charmer and the blues from Boyish Charm. And then it goes into that tealy colour again, which I think I used Tweaky Teal. And the dark purpley colour I used Fancy Flight, which is another of the National Scrapbook Day Sequin mixes. And then for the top I used some of the red hearts from A Heart's Key and a few other little sequins from Confetti Burst mix, so it's not entirely red in that section, but that's okay with me. And I've just kind of, like I said, stitched in between those rows so that those shakers can flow freely along that row, but not mix with each other. And then I did also do a rough kind of stitch around that moon so that they don't go too far to the left or right and get lost. But I think that tulle really actually helps to keep them kind of stuck in place. It lets them move a little bit, but they don't go too crazy. So yeah, I was really happy with that, how it came out. And I've cut my little clouds on some white cardstock, and I want to keep this layout light and soft. That's kind of the key here. And you'll see I quickly go in my normal direction of embellishing very heavily, but I reined myself back in, and I'm quite pleased that I did, because I love the end result. So I'm backing the clouds with vellum. The key to using vellum, if you're going to back your cut files with vellum, is use as little glue as possible if you're using wet glue. Wet glue makes vellum buckle and fold. So if you use just a minimal amount of glue, it doesn't buckle, and that's definitely the key there. So I've done one showing you what I did, and now I thought, well, I better quickly put some splatters down so that can dry while I back the rest. So I've just used some white and some gold Liquitex acrylic ink and just splattered it around where those clouds are going to be. And I've gone ahead and finished backing the rest of those clouds, and I'm just showing you quickly how I am adhering the clouds to the pattern paper. I've just got some white foam squares, and I'm cutting them super thin and just kind of placing them around the edge and on the inside, strategically under where that white part of the cut file is, so that you can't see it under the vellum. And just popping it in place, that left hand top side of that cloud, I did have to double up the foam squares a bit because that vellum is significantly lower than that top piece of pattern paper, so I'm just supporting that cloud so it doesn't sag when it goes in my album. And just peeling the back of these adhesive squares on this one, and just adding a little bit of glue where that cut file is going to sit on top of the other one so that it can kind of glue together there. And there we go. I have adhered on the other three clouds onto my layout just the same way. And now I'm going to start to kind of embellish and back my photos with some pattern paper. So I want to bring in some colour behind my photo. That moon, because there is a lot of colours in it, stands out, so I want to make sure that my photo stands out. There's colour in my photo, but I want to bring some more, so I'm just bringing in that bright yellow with the butterflies from the 6x6 paper pad, that stripe that's in the moon that helps to kind of tie them together, and then that lovely dark maroon pink colour as well. Okay, I did think about adding a layer of vellum just because I saw it there, but it wasn't big enough, so I didn't. I'm going to pop some adhesive foam underneath my photo and just kind of tuck it on top of that cloud and touching that moon so everything's kind of joined. And now I'm going to start to embellish. So I've got some little gold stars. They are Crafter's Choice Bling Stars Metallic Gold. I found them at Spotlight recently. And yeah, I really love them. I should go over and see my new local Spotlight and see whether they've got them there, because I definitely want some more. So I've pulled them out. There's some little puffy clouds as well that I found at the warehouse locally. It's from Unity. I do bring them on, but I end up taking them off later on. So I've just flicked through the die cuts. I pulled out that moon. I really wanted to use that moon. Sifted through another few things. Got a gold foiled sun that I've fussy cut out, some stickers I'm adding now, just going through, seeing what I've got, seeing what I can make work. I like the idea of bringing in the sun, but it's getting so much yellow on yellow on yellow down here in this bottom section, and I didn't like it. I want your eye to kind of really flow around the page. I tried this little layered floral, but that pop of red was too much. It was drawing your eye to that, because that was the only pretty much big blob of red on the page. I try another sun. It's just kind of yeah, testing things out. Go for the chipboard. I like the idea of that sentiment, but it did, yeah, it didn't quite work with what I was going for. The photos of Edison, she's asleep in her car seat. She's got a giant present on her lap. She's got sunglasses on too. It's the middle of the day. We were going to go to one of her little friends' parties, and she just crashed in the car, and I thought it was so funny. Yeah, she's gone to sleep before the party's even begun, but that's okay. She was party ready when we got there. She was raring to go. Yeah, so just continuing pulling out pieces from the embellishments. I try with these tassels, boy do I try, then it gets taken off. So got some puffy stickers, some little florals. I thought that these might work, so I'm just kind of tucking them in. I'm kind of just making do, or I guess I'm compromising, I guess, at the moment, thinking but by adding all of this stuff it's kind of making it work, and then by adding more it should make it work, and eventually it'll grow on me, but it doesn't. So I've popped some of those little puffy clouds on. I'm just putting my title, which is Party Ready, using the thickest from the kit. I'm going to go through and add some of these little Crafter's Choice gold stars, which are gorgeous, just kind of scattering them around those three. Lots of clouds. I'm going to add some sequins. I still have not glued down my die cut pieces yet. There's obviously clearly something in the back of my mind going, you don't like it. There goes my mum. She just chucked a wheat pack on my desk. She microwaved it. She had two of them. She'd been talking to someone who had been delivering pamphlets, and I guess their hands were cold, so mum made them some wheat packs for their pockets to get their hands warm, which I thought was a really neat idea. Yeah, so that's what that was. So I'm just adding some sequins, a whole bunch of these tiny little gold stars and yellow sequins from one of those SpiegelMom scrap sequin mixes, and I've come back from picking up Eddie from school, and I really did not like it. So everything comes off except those sequins and the gold stars and that moon, and I start again pretty much. So I was going to do just an all gold title. I was going to use Take Me Away actually, which is gold on the reverse of these thickers, but I flipped it over and looked at the white and actually found this title which said Keeping It Real, and that was so much like a perfect title for this layout. Eddie's just keeping it real. She's just going to sleep before she goes to a party. Yeah. And I love the lightness of it, and the scripty font, it's just perfect. I feel the little hearts of that thicker set as well. Just adds to the lightness. I love my moon that's staying there. Nice little poppy yellow that's drawing your eye to that section where the photo is. And I'm going to go sequin crazy, and this is a great way to add little pops of colour and fun on your layout without dominating it with huge die cuts and stickers. So I'm going to go through with just some of those sequins that I've used in the shaker pocket. So I'm using the vintage Christmas one. It's a bunch of really nice whites and light pinks and iridescent pink ones, so I'm scattering them around. And then I go through and add some of the tweaky teal ones as well, and some more of those yellow ones for the National Scrapbook Day sequin mix. But that's it for my layout. I am finally happy with the results. I hope you enjoyed the process. Don't forget you can use the code Virginia15 on your next purchase at the SpiegelMom Scrap shop. But yeah, until next time, bye guys.